Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the third episode of Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san. And can you believe there are people on the internet that just like whine and cry over the fact that this anime exists and is popular? Like I usually don't pay much mind to things like that, but like two different occasions I went to the MyAnimeLIst page to just check something about the show, and I just see some really butthurt 1 out of 10 review, and I just kind of roll my eyes and think, why? Why do you spend your time like this? Is there nothing, is there no shows that you actually like? I mean, probably not, because these are generally fake anime fans that do this sort of thing, go on campaigns against whatever happens to be the controversial show of that season. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, really. I just don't usually talk about that, but it's one of those things that's been on my mind, so I wanted to get it out at least once. But anyway, last episode, we had Nagatoro-san doing what Nagatoro-san does best, teasing our protagonist. I imagine we'll get more of that this episode, so let's dab on in and see how such things go. 3, 2, 1, play. And of course, he's in the club room. He is a member of that club after all. And you can tell he's just waiting for Nagatoro to just walk to that door, or burst through that door. He's already striking a top-tier pose, I see. That tone of voice didn't sound super convincing. Oh, wow. I would say she's being especially bold, but I don't even know if that's true. Like, what is her normal level of boldness? But she's probably wearing a skull swimsuit under it, I assume. Yeah, you think she would just strip in the classroom? That's not something she would do. And cut opening, yeah. Pretty much how things go. This is the highlight of his day, so his life is now complete. Isn't he supposed to like meet up with our friends this episode? I think there's supposed to be something like that this time. And yeah, there's you can see the swimsuit in that shot there. The one we got in this episode. Though just the wiggling animation of her is just something special. Yeah, a little bit artistic the opening is, because it really matches the whole art club room aesthetic. Like it fits, it works, and also really gets some of that Nagatoro craziness across. Let's play again, senpai. Mata yarimashou, ne, senpai. I'm not sure where you get the word play out of that, but I mean, this is a good chance to have some see-through clothing, so we know where this is going. Are you winded already? I know she's more athletic than you, but come on. Just do your best, senpai. That sounds like a great plan. Plenty of chances to tease him, I'm sure. Just another day. Yeah, clear up after we've had enough time together in this scenario. Yep, the gears are turning. Because you get to see through her shirts. We can't have that. Yeah, it's quite apparent. You wouldn't want to see that, would you? We'll see. We'll see how strong your willpower is. That is kind of how it goes. Well, I'm pretty sure I saw pink, so I don't think that's the case this time unless I'm blind. It was probably not that, Patan. Oh no, it was not pink. Okay, I guess I am blind. That's clearly blue. Well, either way, it's not what he thought it was. The recovery. There's no closet here. There is no mistake, only happy accidents. Yeah, I can't hear you over the rain. Wow. Yes, I'm just looking to make sure you're okay, and for no other reason. Yeah, I guess you would get a cold here in an anime. This is prime cold getting environment. Are we gonna go to one of our homes together? Like this? Yeah, she can invite you back to her place? Chance to meet the parents? Anything else you want to say? There we go. A fairly suggestive line. And yeah, we're at Nagatoro's place. Feels so weird. Because you really go up another rank from being just a classmate when you go to someone's home. What the heck? I guess this is his mental image of her parents. I feel like that might not be the case. They might be a bit more normal. Like, I think this is off. Man, could you imagine marrying into that? He never went home. Oh god. I don't think it'll go quite like that. Well, you know. So it's just the two of us, all alone, in your home, together. Yeah, you don't want to catch a cold, right? Think of your health. Oh, she has a brother. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, she's being fairly hospitable right now, which just makes you think she's up to something. But what now? Oh wow! Oh my god, they showed a lot there. Wow. I wow. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. That was already more than I expected to see in this show of Nagatoro. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got that. I mean, it's just imagination sequence, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm focusing again. Now, we have this atmosphere to deal with. Oh. Well, there's plenty of reason for him to be a bit fidgety right now. Okay. I'm not sure. Could you tell me? Because I know when the girl comes to the guy's house, she looks for the lewd magazines. Oh. Oh. Could you please clarify? I mean, are we talking about arm wrestling here? Oh, anime DVD or Blu-ray? Yeah, what did you think? What even is that? Like, what anime is it? Actually, that's at PS4, so it's a game. Never mind. It's all the same thing, really. Just give. Hey, as a boy, I'm sure he can play a game just fine. Yeah, let's see what you got. My Neko punching against a sword. Special move. Oh, well, maybe not. Maybe she's not that good after all. Wow, even throwing some shade at the end there. That smug look. We should do some Batsu game here. And now then we get to beat her at something. I suppose you could look at it that way, but I sure you have it in you to try to pull some Runo reverse cards in this relationship. Yeah, her confidence is pretty shaken. Oh, of course she plays dirty. I don't know what I expected. You thought it was me, a green-haired cat girl. It was me and Nagatoro the whole time. So that was her Hisatsuwaza. I understand now. It's debatable. The playing dirty continues, as expected. Wow, because of the cord, almost like a leash or something, like a leash and collar. I think that was intentional. Yeah, much fun was had. Who knew a video game playing session could be so exciting? Was that hard to say? That you enjoyed yourself? It's really not fair when they zoom in on her face like that. I mean, yeah, I can't argue that. You know, just squint your eyes and they're similar enough. Karage. Over here, senpai. Senpai kochi kochi. Why does it always sound better in Japanese? So, yeah, we're probably gonna end up sitting with Nagatoro and her friends, like I thought. Like it was probably mentioned in the preview. Because I'm sure we could have some fun over there. And there they are. Don't you want to hang out with us? Have a good time eating lunch together. Well, you don't have a lot of options. Like, do you really want to sit by somebody with no eyes? Think about it. And I'm sure things will be fine this time. But man, this would be so uncomfortable. Like, you're so out of your element here. Sort of. It's complicated. Okay. I just out with it. I guess it's a way to prevent any more, like, hooking up with people. Pi-sen. Which is senpai backwards if you didn't know. Oh no. What do you think I am? Some harem protagonist? Well, we already knew that. Well, they're more perceptive than they look. Oh no. Yeah, hands off my man, girl. Well, he told you. Maybe it's sticky for different reasons. Not too far off. Do you see anyone else here by that status? Your hand's getting close again. We established there's no doing that. Do you want to try that again? Yeah, he doesn't do that. You know, that may not have been something she wanted you to say. Man, are we gonna have a fight here? Like a cat fight, you might say? Oh. And then give these girls a couple controllers. She might treat you poorly, but he's the only one that's allowed to. Yeah, make a big scene, why don't you? Ah. Oh god, the silence is killing me. Yeah, it's just... We don't do that here. Yeah, I want to make sure everyone in the building heard it. Well, I mean, that contradicts what she said, so she might not be glad you said that. I thought you liked him, spineless. Work on that backhand. Yeah, he's working as Tsukome. Going full Manzai. Yes. The top tier bokeh, so What you got, senpai? Yeah, you're not doing your part. A limp hand. You're breaking up the arms again. Oh, here we go. Well, there you go. He did, well, when this was just in his head. Okay, let's try this again. We start from there. Little column A, little column B. Please shear me. So what do you got? Yeah, you know what to do. Are you okay? Are you gonna cry? What she said wasn't even that bad. What are we gonna do? Yeah, this is more natural. This is our dynamics, so. You got it in you? Well, he kind of did it. He did it all right. So that's what I mean. It's what you wanted, Nagatoro, right? I mean, he was off by slightly. He doesn't have it in him to do that on purpose. And you know that. And roll credits. Yeah. Too bad we didn't get to meet the parents. That probably could have been interesting. Because Naoto is his name, right? He kind of he had his own assumption of what they were like, but we never got to clarify it, so kind of left me hanging in a way. That's probably my only complaint about the episode. It was another pretty good episode, for sure. I wonder if we'll get like an episode where Nagatoro just is busy, so she doesn't have time for him for a while, and he starts to really feel the loneliness without her, make him truly realize how much he values having her in his life. I wonder if we'll get an episode like that. I imagine we will at some point. Preview. Yeah, what exactly would you define as their relationship? I see we're having some fun there. But yeah, it's a good question. You know, what exactly would you call it? I guess that's something they gotta figure out, but I mean, they'll eventually be boyfriend and girlfriend. They just not quite, that label hasn't quite been attached yet. But I'm sure we'll get there. But anyway, that was the third episode of Ijiranaide Nagatoro-san. It's not that long of a title. I don't know why I messed it up. But yeah, this is another good episode. You start off with some pretty classic. Nagatoro goes into the club room while he's all alone to mess with him. This time she did the classic, I look like I'm undressing, but actually I have something underneath strategy. It's a classic, right? But he fell for it pretty handily, as expected of him, for sure. Right? And then we had a bit of a rain situation. And you know, it's not too hard to come up to figure out where that scene's going pretty quick. It's just very, for the most part, it's very common rom-com kind of stuff. The rain comes out, they get caught in it, they have to find shelter somewhere. Usually there'll be some dialogue about the see-through clothing, and since this is a teasing-focused show, of course, Nagatoro would kind of leverage that. Like, you know, don't be looking at me, just because if you do, you're a pervert, and just, you know, all that kind of stuff. And of course, he ends up looking over a couple times for various reasons, like thinking that maybe she's just trying to trick him, which she wasn't. And then we have this big burst of wind, which is another excuse to turn around. And eventually this actually led to him coming back over to her place, and she was actually, yeah, much more hospitable than I initially expected. Like, teasing was definitely kept at a minimum. For the most part, it felt like a pretty standard coming over to a friend's place sort of scenario, right? She got him hooked up with towels and clothes and stuff, and they played video games together. Like, of course she cheated a lot, because of course she did. But that's like, you know, the only real thing like that. And of course, building up to playing the game, she was messing with him with that too, trying to let his imagination go wild about what she was even talking about, right? But aside from those two things, it was really just a pretty straight up playing video games at a friend's house sort of scenario. Although that doesn't mean we didn't get any top tier facial expressions from Nagatoro. Like, there's some good ones in this show. There's some really good ones in this show. Like, I love how how much budget and effort they put into that, because there's so many of her faces that I think would be worthy as a desktop wallpaper. I really believe that. I'm really glad they didn't slack on that, for sure, because I had seen a few screenshots, a few pages, like out of context pages from the manga here and there, and her face always looked so good. So if they messed that up, I would have been pretty salty about that. So, and yeah, I love how she kind of like became the character in the game too. That was a nice touch. Yeah, also the shot where she was like, she had her foot on his back, and she had the controller. Like, that was a very deliberate camera angle and everything. Like, it just looked so much like she was pulling up his sleeve collar or whatever. That was good. And overall, he said he had fun, so he had fun, right? And yeah, he didn't look anything like his character. And then we had a scene where we actually got to interact with the friends, right? And I was curious how this would go, because I figured it would be different than the initial one, because unlike back in episode 1, Nagatoro has bonded a decent amount with him. They've got a real relationship established between themselves. We're not sure what we call a relationship just yet, but it's something. So she gets kind of defensive over him, right? You know, one of them keeps reaching her arm over, and she's like, no. And the other one's kind of badmouthing him a little bit, and she's like, no. And he just like stands up and loudly proclaims the whole room that he is not her boyfriend. Right? There was no follow-up to that. There was no cool thing to say afterwards. He apparently just had to get that out of his system and go back to his chair. Right? This actually led to a chance for Nagatoro to kind of try to work on an aspect of his character that's kind of lacking, and that's of course his lack of a spine. He doesn't tsukumi, right? When someone says something, he doesn't respond really at all. He just kind of takes it, right? And that's, I mean, if it wasn't for that, we couldn't have the dynamic that we have between Nagatoro and him, right? But still, she was still trying to get something to happen there. But it goes against his nature too much to really make too much progress there that quickly. And in the end, we got something. I mean, his Tsukumi ended up with a little bit of oppai touching, but overall, it worked, right? I mean, obviously, beginner mistakes happen, but overall, I'd say it went pretty well for the most part. So, but yeah, overall, I quite liked the episode. I might have liked it more than the previous one, actually, now that I think about it. It had a lot of really good stuff in it. And yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying the show. It's pretty fun, pretty exciting, pretty bold on what she's willing to do, for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how their relationship continues to develop, if they eventually do find a label to put on it, if they will eventually become boyfriend and girlfriend, which I mean they will, but yeah, that may be like a final chapter kind of thing, I don't know. But yeah, I look forward to watching the next episode. Until then, Bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.